Hey, what's up guys? Andrew back here with my second half of my decades video. This is it's kind of 06 to 09. Yeah. During this period, there was this is like remake haven, especially like some of the other ones. You'll see some of them on this. You'll see some of them on this list. Yeah, you'll definitely see some of them. A couple of them that didn't make it. Halloween Resurrection. I'm kidding. That's definitely. But Rob Zombie's Halloween original from 07. Absolutely love this film. It's a great remake. Just missed the bubble. Haunting in Connecticut misses this is honorable mentions here. This is a remake that I think is unfairly hated. I mean, it's whatever. The Stepfather, I understand that why people hate it. It's whatever, but I just don't think it deserves that hate. Drag Me to Hell, fun movie. Grudge 2, I absolutely love too. Just misses the cut though. Boogeyman 2, love that film. Just missed the cut though. This is probably the hardest one to leave off the list, and is The Happening. I love this film. It is unfairly hated. I love it. It's such a good film. Yeah, and then Diary of the Dead also, which I do like it too. I thought that I would have that on my list, you know, bottom, but meh. There are just a ridiculous amount of movies to be had on this list. Yeah, so I got 3. I'm cheating on this one. I fully admit that. I am cheating and putting 3 movies on for number 15 because I could not have these on the list. Prom Night, When a Stranger Calls remakes. Prom Night is just a guilty pleasure fun movie. I love it. But When a Stranger Calls, I genuinely think is just such a good suspenseful film. I love the remake, and it's Camilla Bell. She's definitely not hard to look at in this film. But yeah, and Katie Cassidy's in it. And then the one that more comfortably would have made it is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. As you know, I am a big fan of the film. I do like it. It's a pretty fun film. But yeah, those are number 15. Number 14 is, yeah, I'd go back and forth on this one, but The Uninvited. I really love this one. Again, this is another one of those remakes. It's an 09 movie. I really think this is a great film with a good twist ending, and it's got such good characters in it. Everybody does a good job in that movie. Up next, number 13 is The Last House on the Left remake. The first time I watched this, I actually didn't know what to expect. I had watched this, I think, in 2009 when it came out on, on DVD, and I just, it just took, I definitely wasn't, attuned to rape revenge films like this. But the more that I watch it, man, it's a beautifully shot film, and it is just a haunting movie. It's such a, man, I just like this. I like this better than I Spit on Your Grave. I just think it's a better film. Up next is, I think this is number 12. Yeah, number 12. This is The Mist. One of Frank Darabont. I think this is my favorite Frank Darabont creation, but The Green Mile's a close second. But yeah, The Mist, man, is just, it's basically Walking Dead because it's got, I'm going to say the characters from The Walking Dead that are in this movie. It's got Andrea, it's got Carol, it's got Dale, and there might be one more. No, I think that's it. But it's got those 3. It's got Jeffrey DeMunn, and I can't remember. Laurie Holden, I think, is Andrea. And I can't remember the lady's name who plays Carol. I really like her, too. But yeah, Frank Darabont, also creator of the TV show. So, yeah. And he wrote and directed this movie. Stephen King was a big fan of this film. And Marcia Gay Harden, I mean, one of the best villains of all time in a movie. Can you argue? I mean, she was... Oh, man. I don't remember hating a character more than I've hated her in my... yeah. Up next is a movie... Man, you guys are going to hate me for putting this above all those others, but The Messengers. Yeah, again, it's just one of those films that I just watched to death, and I just have such good feelings towards it. I mean, I fully admit it's not a great film, but it's one of those ones where I just enjoy it. And Kristen Stewart's not hard to look at either. So, up next, I mean, just continuing on with my love of James Wan, and that is Dead Silence. This is from 2006, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, 2006. This is just such a damn creepy movie, and you think, you know, what James Wan did with the Annabelle doll in the first Conjuring, he does this entire movie for the whole 90 minutes of this movie. It's a damn creepy film, and I love it. I'll be upgrading that one soon. Up next is a movie that I think is highly underrated that you just don't hear about. I guarantee you this was on my list. I can't remember anymore, but that's The Orphan. Yeah, this is it's just such a good film, good story, got great characters. It's all around great film. Up next is another movie that I've watched to death before, not while I've had it, but it'll definitely be getting watched multiple times. And that is 30 Days of Night. It's just one of my favorite vampire films, and also it's just Josh Hartnett is top 5 actor for me. I just love everything he's in. I mean, 40 Days and 40 Nights, The Faculty, Halloween H2O. I'm trying to think of other things that he was in that I just loved. But yeah, and then Melissa George. I think foreign actresses, I'd say she's second on my list. I think yes. Yeah, she's actually, I'd say she's first. I don't know, it doesn't matter. But this is a great film, really scary, great twist on the vampire genre, you know, obviously they can't be out in the sun, so set it in the 30 days of night in Alaska. And that is a great time to set this movie. It's a pretty well directed film too. Up next is yet another remake. It's a reboot, it's not a remake. Friday the 13th. Honestly, it plays out like a sequel. Yeah, it's just a super fun movie. Got such great characters and just a blast all around. Like, you can't go wrong with it. Up next is, oh man, every time I watch this movie, I'm just like, man, this is such a great film. And that is All the Boys Love Mandy Lane. This is Amber Heard. I want to say this is her first film or one of her first films. But directed by Jonathan Levine. It was such again, another great story that just, I don't know, it just such likable, just well drawn out characters. Got great teen social commentary in it. And it's one of my favorite shot films. I think he does a great job with it. It's one of those ones where you don't have to guess the killer, but it's like the kills are pretty fun, but the characters are so fun anyways. It reminds me of Cherry Falls in the sense that I just don't care if the kills aren't that great. Up here at number 5. Oh, I go back and forth on these two. Jeez. Man, this is a hard decision to make, but I'm going to go with My Bloody Valentine, a remake. You know, I think, what did this make? Number 2 on my, or this was one of my favorite remakes. I think this was number 3 maybe, I don't remember. But I have another remake in front of it, so even if that was in front of it at that point, it's not anymore. So, but yeah, I love this remake. It is, oh man, it was shot around where I'm from. It feels like a movie is shot where I'm from, and it just, man, everything about this movie, I just love. It's just such a good film, such a great remake. Number 4, just edging it out, is Hatchet. Just, you know, I met Kane Hodder, and this is my next movie that I'm getting him to sign next convention. He goes to pretty much every convention, so it's fun. You know, I got a feeling that he probably just makes a living off of those conventions. Because if he just goes to a convention a month and gets $10,000 every month, it's just like, well, you know, I made $10,000 in a weekend, you know, something like that. But yeah, it's just like everything about this movie is just super fun. The Mardi Gras angle, the characters, you know, you got horror fan galore in this movie because you got Robert Englund in a part, you got Tony Todd in a part, Kane Hodder's the killer. In the third one, you have the kid from, or the teenager from Gremlins as the sheriff. You have Caroline Williams, you have Danielle Harris, you have Casey Mears, who was or Derek Mears, who was for Jason in the reboot. But yeah, it's like this whole series is just fun, but this is my favorite of the whole series. Yeah, that was number 4. Honestly, these next 3, I could interchange them. Like, I could have this one easily at number 1, but number 3 is Trick or Treat. Man, I watched this, what, twice, 2 or 3 times? I watched it twice over the Halloween season. And just, this movie bleeds love of Halloween. Like, everything about this, like I said, every shot says Halloween in this. Everything says I love Halloween in this movie. It is such a great anthology film. It is just beyond awesome. I love this film. Up next is a movie that quite honestly could definitely have jump-started my love for horror, and that is Paranormal Activity, the original. It's just, I make no apologies. I love the Paranormal Activity franchise. I love found footage films. I do. This is one of my favorite found footage films. It's honestly the scaredest I've ever been watching a film. The first time I watched this, you know, and again, just like in the Blair Witch, if you weren't watching it knowing that it was fake, you definitely would not know that it was fake. It just feels so real. I mean, obviously you have to believe in the supernatural for that to be a thing. You know, I definitely did at that point. So, you know, it just, everything about this movie is just so subtle and everything. It's just such a good film with good characters. And number 1 goes down as, and it's a remake. It's a slasher remake. And a movie that I will be watching very soon because it'll be finals week, and that is Sorority Row. Every time I watch this movie, man, it is just such a kick-ass film. It is just, oh man, there is just so much to love about this film. It's such a great remake, got great fun characters. There's all these funny one-liners that the bitch of the movie says that I'm just like, hilarious. They're like out of nowhere, and they're just so outrageous and funny, and like the kills are so good in this film. Like, this is definitely a film that like combines the awesome fun characters with great kills. And honestly, My Bloody Valentine did that too, but yeah, that was a hard list to make because honestly I could have had Trick or Treat as number 1, I could have had Paranormal Activity as number 1. It just like, and I could have had My Bloody Valentine in at number 4 or number 3. I don't know. Honestly, it's just one of those lists where this was where I was at now. So it could change the more I watch them. But yeah, those were my top 15 or whatever. I cheated on that one, but I don't care. It's my list. So, yeah, just thanks guys for tuning in. As always, feel free to let me know what you think, or if you know you think I should have added one or something like that. Yeah, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on all these films and where you'd rank some of them differently. So as always, feel free to, you know, like the video, subscribe, comment, and yeah, this Friday my review on Body Bags this week is my Soul to Take, so I definitely won't be double dipping because I've reviewed my Soul to Take and talked about it to death on this channel. So Friday, let's go with my review for Friday is gonna be Puppet Master. I just started watching those movies, so I'll let you guys know my thoughts on the franchise up to what I've seen at that point. So again, thanks guys for tuning in. As always, have a great day, have a great week, and I will see you on Friday unless you watch Body Bags, and I'll see you on Wednesday. But if not, I'll see you on Friday. Thanks guys for tuning in. Have a great week.